where I'm at with this autoimmune disease. Hi, friends, it's Adam, the crippled cannabis cowboy. Thanks for watching my video. I'm sorry I have MS. Well, apologizing for it. It's kind of stupid, but yeah, it sucks. I don't like having MS. If you like me sharing my story, subscribe to the channel, and I will keep it going as long as I can. The journey of being disabled is very tough. It's not easy by any means. It's a long, rough, windy road with lots of ups and downs and all arounds, and well, it doesn't really go up, it's just down. Figured I'd give y'all an update on what's happening with me. I don't really know what to say, so I'm gonna shoot from the hip. Of course, I'm getting worse, and the way multiple sclerosis is it's progressive, so you get worse in time, and the different kinds you catch are kind of like how quick it renders you useless. And I have something called PPMS, and there's some things I learned about it and some things that are happening. Yes, I got worse. I'm way worse than I used to be, and talking to my therapists and my doctors, and you know, things aren't looking good for me, unfortunately. That's part of that rough road of being disabled, is you sort of have to be, well, you're never really prepared, but you have to kind of be reserved enough, if that's the word I'm looking for. You kind of have to be calm. That's like the first and foremost, because almost always it's bad news, and you know, you just have to be reserved about it. I'm noticing for myself, you know, the eyesight is pretty much going out the window. For most of the day, I'm close to blind. You know, I can see colors and I could see shapes, but trying to make out a word, yeah, forget it. Sometimes I can't even see a clock if it's a foot away from my face, and I wish I was exaggerating, but that's how blurry it can be. Writing, I was writing for a while, and you know, it's good practice to keep your muscles functioning as far as your fine motor skills, and you know, that's becoming a problem. I still kind of write, but it's only in certain parts of the day, so you know, that leads to my physical abilities and being able to raise my hand and, you know, like just do things that normal people do, and you kind of can't. It's weird when you have a debilitating disease, especially something that messes with your nervous system. You have to be careful of how you step and where you walk and what you're doing at all times. Like, you can seriously hurt yourself by accident. As far as the doctors and the therapies go, I am in the middle of it. Of course, I finished a cycle, started a cycle, finished cycle, third. I think I'm on my fourth cycle now of therapies. Seeing my doctors, the doctors change constantly, so it's hard to nail one down really. I know that the appointments are picking up soon, so you have to be prepared for that. You can't, you know, you have to be prepared to make a schedule change at the drop of a dime, because the way the game works, you don't want to miss a doctor's appointment. If you miss a doctor's appointment, you're looking at like 3 months, minimum 3 months before you can reschedule, for me anyway. But they start on the 3rd of next month, February 3rd on, and there's therapies, and those therapies are there's physical therapy and occupational therapy and speech therapy and psychology classes, and then there's doctors, and there's my is it primary care physician? I think something like that. Then there's neurology. I have to see a neurologist, an MS specialist. I don't even know if there's another bracket in that, but now there's stuff about looking at my PSA test, something to do with my prostate, and it's weird. The things kind of get very nightmarish, so you have to kind of sit down and be prepared. So if you know someone that's going down this road of being disabled, I can tell you right now, as someone who is disabled, they need help. They need love. They need someone to say hi. They need someone to go visit them. And these are all things I really don't get. And if I can describe how much it eats my heart that doesn't happen, you're kind of like sitting and watching the world go by, and you can't do anything. You're gonna lose every person you ever dated, and you're gonna lose any chance at any romantic relationships. You're gonna watch your friends just do things, and people grow up, and it's weird. Your mind kind of starts to run away with you. That's kind of what happens in this game, and I'm noticing for myself that you have to pay attention to that, because that can get your emotions stirring, and your emotions can make you worse. There's quite a few things that have to do with multiple sclerosis and emotions. I know there's a word for it, but you do have to watch out for it. Where I read a little bit about it when I used to read. Something about emotions with people that have the problems I have, they're a little more intense. That's the best way I could describe it. They're more intense. They don't really go away. You have to deal with them different ways, and I got a couple hints. For example, like I had a lot of problems with women. It fucking sucks. I got deserted every way you could possibly get deserted, and there was this thing I learned in psychology that helped me a little bit. And they were saying something. It could be applied in many different ways. That's why I'm bringing it up. Is if there's something that makes you sad, and maybe makes you cry, maybe makes you feel like you need a moment to yourself, set aside an amount of time during the day, earlier in the day, and allow that to happen. Allow yourself to feel a certain way or react a certain way, but do it earlier. So maybe then later on, it doesn't happen as intensely. And at first, when I started it, it sucks. It didn't seem like it was working. But the more I practiced it, the more it seemed to work. And if there's something that I have to be really sad about, and there's quite a few things now, I'll try to feel sad in the earlier part of the day, so when the later part of the day comes, I can sleep and I can, maybe work on something I need to work on. Sort of have like a normal life. So I'm trying to switch all the sad emotions that I was having at nighttime, because they were keeping me awake and driving me crazy, to morning time. So I don't know if it's gonna help me or whatever, but that's kind of where it is right now. As I learn this game, you'll learn too. I don't know of anyone else that's crazy enough to do this kind of stuff, and yeah, it's embarrassing, it's humbling, it's humiliating. It makes me upset to see my own face like this, having to do videos like this, because I couldn't find them when I was diagnosed, and Holy shit, I went crazy, man. Anyway, thanks for watching my video on multiple sclerosis. And there's a few different kinds, and it really doesn't matter. They all suck. If you know someone that has it, or they have some kind of debilitating disease, or it's getting progressively worse, I could tell you right now, they need love, man. They need someone to just, if you love them, tell them you love them. If you want to freaking see them, go see them. They need help, and they need a lot of love. And when you feel like this, you definitely feel alone. And that's part of the reason why I'm making these videos, is I want people that are like me, or facing these things like me. I don't ever want them to feel alone, man. Nobody should feel alone. So spread the good word, show the love if you can. That takes practice. I have another channel. Some of you might know about it. Subscribe to this one and check out my future stories of MS. And like I said before, I'm gonna continue to try to share them. Who knows how long I'm gonna be here? I don't know. That's remains to be seen. But as long as I'm here, I am going to keep trying to help.